Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, today's video, I'm going to be going over 9 signs that you are a high-level thinker. All right, so if you are a high-level thinker, you don't think like most people. You have a different mindset. You're not on the same consciousness level as most people are in this world. All right, you might be around a group of people, whether it be your family, your friends, your coworkers, and you just question and ask yourself and say to yourself, I don't think like these people. I don't like why do they think like this? All right, it's because most people, they're still thinking on a third dimensional level. All right, you have ascended consciously. All right, you're not on the same wavelength in regards to your consciousness as most people in this world. All right, that's because you are set apart. God has set you apart, and you have been doing the work to overcome all the darkness and all the programming and the lies that we have been told in our lives, right? So you have taken the time to unlearn everything that you've been learning and everything that you've been digesting and consuming, and you have risen consciously, right? You might, sometimes I'll be around, people, and I say to myself, I feel like I don't even belong on this planet because that's how different I feel. Because I don't think like everybody else. I don't do the same things as everybody else. I don't perform the same actions as other people in this world. All right, so you may feel like that as well. So in this video, I'm going to be going over 9 signs that you are a high level thinker. All right, so let's not waste any time and let's go ahead and get started. So the first sign that you are a high level thinker, you're naturally curious. So you are a naturally curious person, right? You like to dig deep into different subjects and categories and things like that. You are just a naturally curious person, all right? The first step into a person that's becoming more awakened and becoming successful in what they do and awaken to their true nature is when they're curious. When they start becoming curious, when a person starts becoming curious, that's when you know that they're about to level up in life. God is about to level you up in life when you start becoming more curious. All right, because this world is filled with lies and manipulation, and we've all been going through this, since we were growing up in this world, since we were kids. All right, they try to feed us with this programming and these lies and all these different things. So we've taken the time to unlearn and unchain our minds and to unprogram ourselves from all the lies and the manipulation that these people have been trying to put on us. All right, so we start becoming more curious. We start learning more about ourselves and learning more about the world that we're living in right now. All right, so that's the first sign that you are a high-level thinker, that you are curious. You are in the moment. You are in, that stage where you are starting to question everything. You just start to become more curious. So the second sign that you are a high-level thinker, you love learning for the sake of learning. Now, most people, they tend to gravitate towards entertainment over knowledge. All right, they don't try to promote the helpful, beneficial videos on social media, the people that are trying to teach you and to help you elevate yourself. They want to push out the entertainment videos. They want to distract you. They want to distract you from realizing who you truly are as a spiritual being and as a person overall. All right, so they try to, distract you and to, stop you from reaching your potential, basically. So when you are a high-level thinker, when you get to that stage where you are a high-level thinker, you start to love learning. You love to learn about different subjects and such as philosophy and psychology, spirituality, finances, relationships. You start to, you want to become, you never want to niche yourself. You don't want to niche yourself into one specific category. You just love learning about different things. You might want to learn about, ancient history, ancient civilizations, different subjects that are within this world. So you never want to niche yourself. You just always want to keep growing and growing and growing. Learn as much as you can because learning satisfies you. Learning, makes you happy. Learning fulfills you. Learning increases your consciousness. Reading books, for example. All right, so the second sign that you are a high-level thinker, you love learning for the sake of learning. So the third sign that you are a high-level thinker, you don't always accept what the majority believes. Now, people tend to, we tend to believe everything that we've been taught and learned, like I mentioned earlier, all the, the mainstream information that we've been given. Say for instance, most doctors and dietitians say that we need to eat 3, 4, or 5 meals a day. I tend to not believe that. If you are, there are some exceptions, all right? So if a person has, health problems or certain medical conditions and things like that, then those type of people are exceptions. But if you're, a healthy person who doesn't have any type of medical problems or, health conditions, things like that, I don't believe a person like that should be eating 3, 4, or 5 meals a day. All right, because you just consuming way too much food, and especially if you're eating the right amount of foods, the right types of foods, you don't need to be eating as much. You don't need to be eating that much, because 2 meals, I believe a person, at the most should be eating 2 meals a day. All right, especially if you're eating the right types of foods. So they just always programming us with this information, and to only benefit them. Because if they're giving us information that we truly need to succeed in this life, we wouldn't need them. All right, we wouldn't need the government and the people that rule this world. We wouldn't need them. So they're giving us this information to only hinder us, to hurt us. They don't care about us at the end of the day. This world doesn't care about us. They're not giving us information to benefit ourselves, because if they're giving us information to benefit ourselves, we wouldn't need them. All right, so when you are a high level thinker, you don't believe what the majority says. You don't believe what the world is trying to promote and do. All right. So the 4th sign, you're interested in a broad range of subjects. Now, when you're a high level thinker, like I stated earlier, you never try to niche yourself. Right? You like to learn about different subjects. You like to expand your consciousness. You like to learn about all the different things that are within the world. You try to become a totally different person, right? So when you get in that mode, when you get into that mindset where you just want to learn as much stuff as you can, whether it be through real life experience, going to classes and seminars or reading books, you just become a totally different person. You just become more of a overall growing human being. You're leveling yourself up when you learn from these different subjects. When you're researching and dissecting, you're just becoming a better person. You're just increasing your consciousness level, and you're just leveling up in life instead of staying stagnant. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with entertaining yourself, but when you try to prioritize entertainment over knowledge, when you're just trying to get a quick stimuli, always trying to entertain yourself, just trying to entertain yourself and try to escape from the world 24/7, that's not good, right? You're only hurting yourself. You're only hindering yourself by doing that. But when you start getting in that mode where you just start like learning and growing and doing the necessary things to level yourself up in life, that's when you truly become the person that you truly want to be. All right. So another sign that you are a high level thinker is when you try to learn different subjects in life, whatever that may be. So the next sign, you follow your inner guidance. Now, if you're a high level thinker, you follow your intuition, you follow your inner guidance, your inner spirit. All right, because your inner spirit never steers you wrong. When you do the inner work, when you build your spirit up, when you become more spiritual, when you become less attached to the flesh and more with the spirit, once you go within yourself, you tend to do the necessary things. You tend to go in positive directions in life. Everything starts to attract itself to you. You start attracting more positive things. All right. So when you are being helpful, being of service to others, when you are spreading love, when you're doing the spiritual work, when you are focusing on yourself from within, right? That's when you start becoming a high level thinker. When you align your chakras and that crown chakra starts to activate, you start to receive messages and guidance and help from the universe, from the angels, from God himself. Right? So when you are a high level thinker, you increase in consciousness. You follow that inner guidance that is within you, because your inner guidance, especially if you take care of yourself spiritually, it will never steer you wrong. So another sign that you are a high level thinker, you tend to approach things from different angles. Now, especially if you are a high level thinker, you tend to approach things from different angles. Right? Let's say, for instance, a person who only uses their left side of the brain, who only thinks logically, or they might approach a situation or a problem, one way, like this is the only way to do this, whatever they're doing, whatever they're coming up with. Now, if you're a high level thinker who uses both sides of the brain, the logic side of the brain and the creative side of the brain, you approach things differently. You tend to create, you become more of a creative person when you use your right side of the brain, which is creativity. And you might come up with different solutions. You might come up with different ideas and ways of how to approach this situation. Or you might come up with different things on how to solve this problem, coming up with different solutions. Something that nobody has even created or thought of, right? So if you're a high level thinker, you tend to approach things, on different sides of the spectrum, basically, all right? So the next sign that you are a high level thinker, you're fascinated by other cultures. Now, I've noticed this within my life. I've noticed that ever since I've been, developing my consciousness and expanding my consciousness and become more of a high level thinker, I became fascinated with different cultures. Right? You might be fascinated with, with Native American cultures, the Native American culture, Indian culture, the Asian culture, African culture, European culture, all the different cultures that are within our world. You tend to become fascinated with different cultures. Or I believe that's a sign that you're also as well. If you're interested in, different, cultural influences around the world, you like to, dress up like them, or you like to study their art or study their history, read books on, Native American history and things like that. So if you're a high level thinker, you will be interested in different cultures. You will be, like to study different cultures, and, you like to travel. You like to travel to different places and continents and countries and learn up on, the different areas that were, different people in the different areas that are within the world. All right. So the next sign that you are a high level thinker, you have a sense of purpose. Now, when you are a high level thinker, when you start to level yourself up, expand yourself, become a more developmental person, when you're just always working on yourself, working on your craft every single day, you know what your purpose is. You have a sense of purpose. You know what you need to be doing. That's all you're focusing on. You're not focusing on any outside influences, any outside external things that are within the world. You're not focused on money, power, fame, women, men, all these different things that they're trying to push onto us. You're not focused on none of that, right? You might be, deleting all your social medias. You might be, being in your isolation periods. You might be, on monk mode, right? So when you're a high level thinker, you have a sense of purpose. You focus on what you need to be doing in this life in order to better yourself, because your purpose is the only thing that makes you happy. Your God-given purpose, your God-given destiny is the only thing that makes you happy in life. It's the only thing that keeps you going. So you tend to focus on that the majority of your time. And the last sign that you are a high level thinker, you love to problem solve. Now, when you love to problem solve, you like to tackle on different problems. You like to, you might like puzzles. You might like to solve puzzles. You might like to, play different puzzle games or do different mind exercises to stimulate your mind, to, unwire your mind and to connect to different neural nets in your mind that have never been activated. All right. So if you're a high level thinker, you tend to, you like to stimulate your mind. You like to, develop a more healthy, active mind. Right. So when you are a high level thinker, you love to problem solve. You like to tackle on different problems and come up with different solutions and do anything and everything to stimulate your mind so you can have a more conscious mind to where you can navigate through life in a positive direction. All right. All right, so these are the 9 signs that you are a high level thinker. Are you a high level thinker? You're naturally curious. You love learning for the sake of learning. You don't always accept what the majority believes. You're interested in a broad range of subjects. You follow your inner guidance. You tend to approach things from a different angle. You're fascinated by other cultures. You have a sense of purpose, and you love to problem solve. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hopefully this video helps you out. Are you a high level thinker? Hopefully these signs can confirm that you are a high level thinker. Keep up the good work. Always, grow and stimulate your mind and grow consciously, because you're only going to ascend from here, right? Just by developing yourself overall, just always in the lab, always in the gym with your life, always studying up. All right, don't get too distracted from this outside world. Always focus on yourself and work on your craft. All right. So next time, and always remember, all power resides from within. And always keep the faith, because God in the universe is always working for you. Take care, guys. God bless.